All right. Hello, health heads. Welcome and thank you for checking into this dose of the Healthcare Uprising. I'm your producer in the back, Jeremy Carr, here with your host in the front row, Heather Pierce. So, what's on our agenda for today, Heather?
This was a fun one. Um, we learned so much. Ceres Chill, CEO and founder, Lisa Myers. Just a hoot, you guys. She was just so much fun to talk to. She is CEO and founder of Ceres Chill, the world's first breast milk chiller, but she was a lawyer. She had like literally nothing to do with
Nothing
healthcare,
to do with it.
nothing to do with like being in the space of creating baby products, right? Or products for new moms. But what happened was is that she was a lawyer, she was a prosecutor in Philadelphia, and she went back to work and she was breastfeeding and realized that there was
Really, no way to keep doing that
yeah,
and work at the same time.
she needed a product. She needed something to help her be the best she could be as both a mother and both as a lawyer. And so Ceres Chill was born. Haha.
Born, I get it.
I'm all full of wit today.
And she's been feeding it ever since.
Yeah. There's chip jar at the door.
Yours was better.
Yeah, thanks.
But yes, yeah, definitely one of our more fun conversations and very educational for me. So
Very educational.
let's jump into this without further ado. Here's our conversation with Lisa Myers from Ceres Chill.
Hi, and welcome to the Healthcare Uprising podcast. Today we've got Lisa Myers, CEO and founder of Ceres Chill, the world's first breast milk chiller, on the show with us today. Welcome, Lisa. Glad to have you with us.
Heather, I am so excited to be here. First of all, I love your podcast. I love the topics. Our little pre-podcast talk with Jeremy, we got to highlight some of the ones that are my favorites. And like Jeremy said, he's now become an expert in all of the things that are really important to women in femtech. So that's my
right.
space, and I love sharing about it. So this is such a cool opportunity.
Yeah. We like to talk about all things healthcare on the show. We definitely lean really heavy into women's health and femtech because which is how I found you, Lisa, on some post out on LinkedIn, and I thought, oh my God, what is this amazing thing that she's doing? And so thanks to the hashtag femtech universe that I've been kind of adopted into, thanks to LinkedIn. I'm now like bringing everybody onto the show, which is really cool. And so then Jeremy is now becoming an expert in women's health.
Things
He's along for the awesome ride.
I never expected.
Yeah. So tell us about your background, kind of like what brought you to create Ceres Chill series. And of course, you're gonna have to share with us the background of what the name means. So yeah, just kind of kick us off here.
Yeah, so I love that we're starting kind of at the beginning. Everybody asks me, I go to all of these great health conferences. So whether it's AP, the Academy of Pediatricians, or it's nurses, NICU leadership, everybody's always like, or lactation, they're like, so are you an engineer? Like, were you a lactation consultant? Are you in the medical field? And the crazy thing is, like, none of those things are true. I was a mom that needed a lot of help and support as a new parent, and it wasn't there. And I went back to work, and I was just pretty much outraged, frustrated with the condition of the world, because somehow the world had advanced, it seemingly, for every other member of society except for pumping moms. And I just couldn't believe that moms were stuck with soft-sided coolers, a ton of plastic, chemical freeze packs, and they lasted 6 to 8 hours. I'm like, no one's day, no one's night is 6 to 8 hours. So it just felt like we'd been hobbled and left behind, and didn't seem like anybody else was going to do anything about it. So I came up with a solution, and we've been off to the races ever since. And then I'm part of this incredible community, and I get to have conversations with people like you, Heather. So I feel really lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked for you in this the products that you have and the solution that you're providing because and that's one of the things too. We like to talk about kind of what are the challenges, right? Like this was born out of a personal situation, right? Where you were
Struggle.
like,
Yeah.
this
Let's
is
call it a
this is
situation.
a situation. A situation. Yeah, it is indeed. Like it's the bulky, the privacy, the having some sense of what's the word? I said it earlier, Jeremy, when I was telling you about what she does here, but for women who are pumping, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to and as a mother, right? I was a mother. I wasn't able to breastfeed, and we'll talk about that at some point here, but I know a lot of women who were or are, and to go back into the workforce and not to feel supported, right? Because either the equipment kind of sucks, the discreetness, that was the word, the
Yeah.
discreetness. And we want the pretty things. I
Yeah.
mean, we just
Yeah.
do. And you saw this as a gap, right? As
Yeah.
or an opportunity, right? Depending on how
Right.
we want to position that. And built Ceres Chill to solve for this problem because women are not supported in breastfeeding often. And then the universe yells at us, why aren't you breastfeeding? Or why aren't you breastfeeding, more than six
Or
months? Or
worse, why aren't
right?
you a good mom? Like,
Or
why did you
yeah.
make that choice? Why did you go back to
It's
work and why did
mhm,
you fail your child? Or
right.
you
We
ask
can't
yourself that
win.
question. Yeah,
Right?
can't
We
win.
can't win. It's like there's no good answers. And so that's an issue in itself, right? Like that's bigger than even, breastfeeding and having these amazing products that you're creating. But um what are you thinking about that? Like as you're sitting there, you're a lawyer, right?
Yep. I
Okay.
was a prosecutor in Philadelphia. So I always say not a useful lawyer. Like, I mean, I was changing the world in my own way, but when I think about it, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're a lawyer. You were set up to be successful. And I'm like, no, I wasn't a business lawyer and I wasn't an IP lawyer. I couldn't do patents. So no, I was a prosecutor and I was an insurance subrogation lawyer. So I mean, I'm comfortable with the law, but it definitely wasn't the useful kind in business or in engineering or creating a product or finding manufacturers or anything like that. But yeah, no, everything you said, Heather, is absolutely true. And what really drives the company is our mission to empower moms, women, new parents to lead their best lives while achieving their goals as parents. And it really, unfortunately, has become or has always been this awful binary choice of be a great mom or feel like you're being a good mom or be a good employee, like go back to work. And to choose between a paycheck and how you want to show up for your child, especially with something as important as breastfeeding. I mean, my kids were fed formula. I always say, and people are uncomfortable with it, but I failed my daughter. I went back to work after 3 months, which I was lucky to have. Many women are not that lucky. And I was dependent on formula because I traveled all the time. Nothing out there could keep my breast milk safe for long enough to get through a regular workday or a flight. So I was throwing out thousands of ounces of breast milk. But I mean, the thing that bothers me the most, and I'll end this little TED talk, but I feel like it's relevant for your guys' podcast. Part of that mission, part of what really breaks my heart and keeps my whole team going forward is breastfeeding a child should be a choice. It does awesome things for the health of the child and the health of the mother. It helps eliminate many causes of infant mortality, like SIDS, in different countries, like diarrhea, asthma, diabetes. For the mother, it helps decrease the risk of cancer, of diabetes, I mean, it's just like you can just start listing every big health issue
A lot
out
of
there.
benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be dramatic. In many cases, with a full term child, being breastfed or formula fed is not the end of the world, but especially for preterm babies, it can mean the difference between life or death with terrible afflictions like neck, which we don't even have to go into, but you get the idea. What
Hmm.
sucks, what really, really keeps us going, gets me mad, is that right now, with the state of the world, and it's changing thanks to podcasts like yours and really angry moms like me, I'll say.
We're all
Um,
trying.
yeah, but breastfeeding is the privilege of a bougie, educated white woman. You have to have some maternity leave, some support, insurance, being educated on the advantages of breastfeeding, and then being able to advocate for yourself. And I failed there. Like I failed my daughter in that way. And so I look at all the advantages I had, and even I couldn't be successful and I couldn't show up in that way. And I made a choice to work. I felt rather than breastfeed because I felt that that was my choice that I had to make. So the chiller that I invented that addressed all the limitations of the cooler, it seems like a small thing in that, it looks like a Yeti. Everybody says, oh, it's a Yeti. It's a hydro flask that you use for your breast milk, but it's patented. It's 2 chambers. You can put ice in one chamber, your breast milk in the other, but it can hold more breast milk. So 27 ounces over 20 ounces, and it can keep it cold for 20 hours with a handful of ice. And you can find ice anywhere. Most women can find it in their home.
That is a long time.
Right? And then when you run out of time, rather than being toast, cooked, done, like with the coolers, because if that ice pack is spent, it's all over. You just find ice and you're back in business for another 20 hours. So for those moms who have their flight get canceled or their shift goes long, I mean, we're talking about ER nurses and, people who are doing really important work. I launched during COVID, and military service members and nurses and doctors who were working in ERs or pediatric facilities, postal workers out in the Texas heat, right? No air conditioning, trying to get through a day. You can imagine it was a choice between how do I want to show up as a parent or am I going to show up at work? But you didn't feel like you had the ability or an opportunity to breastfeed your child because the tools just weren't available. So that's what the chiller does. It like I said, I'm proud that it seems simple. It's super under the radar, but what it does is, I think, and what I'm most proud of is it opens up opportunities for a lot of moms who are shift workers or have a lot of demands on them, even just at home, and they don't feel like they have a meaningful choice for something that's so important.
I need to ask.
Go for it.
A very basic question.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's about to come out of my mouth.
Oh gosh, I can't wait.
I'm excited. Let's help educate the world. Come on, Jeremy, I'm ready for it.
For those of us not in the know, the whole lactation process, to keep it, to do it the right way, and like how often does a woman have to pump, and how much will she typically pump at once, and how long can it stay good if stored properly outside the body?
I love that question. That is a question that every new mom has, and so few of us get actual answers. And Dr. Google can be a very dangerous and scary place. So this is the best question ever, Jeremy. So we have a bunch of information that we can provide to you. So it goes into the notes if you have notes on the podcast. But the general rule, and a lot of it is rules, Jeremy, so crazy, but rules that were formed 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago that aren't based on any research whatsoever. So interesting. Dr. Hind has an actual TED Talk on this subject where she talks about how there is more research on the value of eating tomatoes, drinking red wine, or erectile dysfunction, like any one of those, like individually, than all of the world's research on breastfeeding and breast milk put together. Like any one of those has more research articles, more publications than all of the research on breast milk, period. And that's every human being's first food. That's least
bonkers. I
right?
say that a lot on this show.
Bonkers.
Yeah. Bonkers. That's a good word
let
for
me
it.
Pick my jaw up off the floor. Excuse me.
Yeah. I have other words, but bonkers is a really good one.
I'm sure you do.
So what changed is during COVID, a lot of the concern around how do we keep infants safe? Does COVID pass through breast milk? All of those questions helped us get more research about breast milk overall. But what's incredible about breast milk is it's not like regular food. So regular food handling rules were applied to breast milk without any research to support it. So there was a lot of conflicting information about whether or not you could add newly expressed breast milk to already chilled breast milk because you were going to bring the temperature up. And then that would be like, having a dead piece of animal flesh like chicken or steak on your counter, and you run it under hot water, and then you set it back on the counter, and then you put it in the fridge, and then you put it in a pan. It's like, are you going to serve that to your family? Probably not.
No.
It's not good.
That's interesting.
But with breast milk, it's live cells. Live cells. It's antimicrobial and antibacterial, and it's amazing to watch those cells attack bad bacteria. So breast milk is actually constantly working to keep it self-safe for infant consumption, and then goes into the baby's gut and populates it with good bacteria, with good like flora, or however the doctors would say it. You guys probably know better.
Gut flora. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is what actually helps create the barrier in the baby's gut to allow them to digest things. It's breast milk is incredible. So in the US, like it's kind of like refrigerating eggs and everything. In the US, we have lots of food handling rules. In the rest of the world, I mean, they in different countries, they'll leave breast milk out all day. Nobody dies. In the US, the rule is 4 to 6 hours. It can sit at room temperature, and then it needs to be brought down to a refrigerated temperature and can go up to 59 degrees for 24 hours after it's been expressed, because newly expressed breast milk has all those live cells. But over the course of days, the cells start to die. It still has incredible nutritional value, but it's not actively fighting bacteria the same way. So this was a really long answer to your question, but it was such a good question. So
I'm captivated. I'm learning because now I'm like, what about freezing breast milk? And I gotta, because I'm going to share a story here in a little bit.
Okay. So freezing breast milk, totally fine. You do lose some of those awesome live cells. Some of the nutritional value starts to deplete over a period of time, as with any food. It's similar to food in that way. So the rule for freezing breast milk is 6 months to a year. Still more research has to be done on that, but freezing breast milk, so it can last 4 to 6 hours at room temperature, can be kept cold up to 59 degrees for 24 hours. Then it can be refrigerated for 4 days. And then it should be frozen or fed within those 4 days. And it can be frozen for 6 months to a year.
That's the timeline. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can thaw it out and it still has all those properties. Like it doesn't.
It doesn't have all of them, but it has a lot of them. And it is still superior to formula, depending on who you ask. Probably not formula manufacturers, but other researchers and pediatricians and lactation consultants would tell you that a year-old frozen breast milk, there's still nothing like it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to share, it is tailored to the baby based on what is going on, based on the baby's age, based on the baby's sex, based on the time of day. So there is an interaction between the mom and the baby. So saliva on the breast, and then mom always like kissing baby and like breathing the baby's essence in. That mom's mammary glands are formulating breast milk specific for that infant on that day. So if the baby's sick, or if mom's gotten sick, if mom's been exposed to the flu or to a cold, her body starts to create antibodies that it is putting in the breast milk to feed that baby at that time, to protect that baby or nourish that baby based on what it needs at that age, at that time of day, in that environment. So a mother's milk at 3 months is different than at 6 months, is different than at a year. And a mother's milk in Nigeria is different than a mother's milk in the Netherlands, is different than a mother's milk in Thailand. And that baby's needs, and you can see the color change. So like some milk, like for a baby that is a year old and is getting a lot of its nutrients from steak or whatever, because they can actually consume food, that milk is going to look a little more blue, a little more watery, because it doesn't have to be as nutrient dense. Whereas like in the first hours of life, there's colostrum, and it's this bright, almost like gold orange color, like a deep, deep yellow. And then it becomes like more of a golden, paler yellow. But sometimes when babies are sick, it's this green, or it's like different colors. And it's because it's got a bunch more antibodies in it. It has different different cells were activated. So it's just the coolest. Yeah.
Jeremy, did you realize you were going to get educated on breast milk
I
today?
I did not know that breast milk came with real-time updates.
Yeah, I
I
know,
did not
right?
know that.
And
I
it
just
has
learned
more
that.
melatonin at night than it does during the day. The
I
whole
didn't know
thing.
That
this
yeah, that it's
either.
Yeah.
that detailed. I figured it was kind of, a little different for each person and whatnot, but to that fine of a detail, that's wild.
Okay. So
But so there's no real the beginning of your answer, I think, was what so there's no real data on how often you should pump and how much you should pump and
No,
stuff like
no. So
that.
there, so there is. Sorry, I skipped that part of the question because of all
Okay.
this other wisdom knowledge I was dropping. So that question is a great one. It is key to speak to a lactation consultant. Some moms never pump a day in their life. They just breastfeed their baby, just nurses at the breast. They never pump. Some moms pump exclusively. And they pump because there's an anatomical challenge, like their baby isn't able to nurse. Maybe they have a cleft palate or they have a tongue tie, or the mom has inverted nipples or like too fast of a letdown, all of this stuff that we can go into detail about, but don't have to. There's an anatomical reason that makes breast, like feeding at the breast, a problem. Sometimes moms just choose it. They are what they call touched out, like they don't want a baby at their breast, or like they've endured sexual assault, like any number of things, and they're like, you know what, I want to pump, I want to extract the milk, or they want dad to help, like they want their partner to be able to like bottle feed. So some moms exclusively pump, they never nurse, but both are equally amazing. I think people that exclusively pump are saints. But if you are breastfeeding and pumping and like you're going back to work, it's good to have a schedule that you work out either with Dr. Google situation, and we have blogs about it that have information from internationally accredited lactation consultants. But usually extracting milk, especially in the beginning, at least every couple hours, if not sooner, for at least 30 minutes is key, because if you're not extracting milk, your body gets the impression that the baby doesn't need it, it's fine. So you can decrease your supply. So what happens is moms go back to work or they travel away from the baby. They don't pump enough. They're not extracting milk because they're busy. They're stressed out. They can't find the time. And so they're not extracting milk. So their supply goes down. So then even when they go back to their baby, now they're not making enough because their body was told, oh, we're good. Like that baby has enough. And so now you have like another hill to climb to try to get your supply back. So you do that by pumping more often, which is its own headache, its own hell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
and the more you know, Jeremy,
I know more.
Exactly.
you do.
Yeah.
So okay, so I need to okay. So I'm going to share my story here just because I think it's relevant.
Please.
I have two kids. My oldest is 16. My youngest is 11. And so I had right before I got pregnant with Zane, my oldest. I had a lot of infertility issues, and I actually didn't think I was ever going to get pregnant. Um, but I also needed to have a pretty important surgery. It was a breast reduction surgery. And so I remember going to see my plastic surgeon. He's like, are you going to have children? Are you going to breastfeed? I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get pregnant. So let's just do it. And like 6 months later, I got pregnant.
Ah,
And so with Zane, I didn't breastfeed because the milk ducts were actually severed.
oh,
And yeah, and they had told me, they said, this is pretty permanent. So even if you try to breastfeed, if you ever get pregnant and have a baby, you're gonna have a really hard time. And so I thought, I'm going back to work. I can't deal with the challenge of, you know, doing that, right? Like
yeah.
trying to breastfeed against kind of odds. So and so I just bottle fed. Fast forward to
With
when
formula, not with
with
donor milk
formula.
or anything. Yeah.
With
And that's
formula.
the other thing. So somebody didn't want to deal with your problem and then they didn't want to tell you about donor milk, but that's a whole other
I
me
have
being
good
angry at the
news.
world. Okay, good.
I have good news. So, and I wasn't that educated, quite honestly, at that point. I would have 100% went the donor milk route at that point, but like
I didn't know it existed either.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Would have done it in a heartbeat. So I did formula. So then 5 years later, I have my youngest, Van, and there's kind of a little bit of a sad part in this, but then it's happy. A girlfriend of mine was also pregnant at the same time. We had our children about a month apart, and unfortunately, her son had a brain tumor, and so he had to start going through chemo. She was a avid like breastfeeder as a mom with her first child, like breastfed till she was like 3, like quite a while, quite a ways. And so she wanted to keep pumping because she had to feed him with the bottle while he was going through chemo.
Yeah.
And so she donated breast milk to me. And
Wow.
so Van actually ended up getting kind of half and half. It was about 70-30, because she couldn't give me all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go to her house once a week and she would put it in a cooler, the
Yeah.
frozen milk, and we chit chat whatever, and
Yeah.
I leave with my frozen breast milk and I bring it home, and then we would defrost it like you would,
Yeah.
like heat it up basically. And so he ended up getting her a lot of her breast milk, so which was amazing. And
Huge.
I like have thought about, wow, this would have been amazing. Like
Yeah.
Ceres
Yeah.
Chill would have been
Yeah.
so great in
Yeah.
2000. What year was he born? 2004, well, 13, 14. So
Yeah.
and by the way, too, my friend, her son, he is tumor free, by the way. He is
Oh
a
my
healthy
gosh, that's
child.
Oh,
what I wanted
good.
to ask. I was
Oh,
hoping
I
you
was
would
so
tell
sad
us.
there for a minute.
Yeah,
He
I
was,
know.
yeah,
Jeremy was worried with me. That's a
yeah,
great story.
I really
yeah.
was.
Truthfully, we're not really in touch anymore. She moved and across the country. We kind of lost track of one another, but I do know at least though that they are a healthy family.
I love a
So,
happy ending.
yeah, and I
Yes.
got the liquid gold, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Or he got
Yeah.
the liquid gold. So I feel
And
like
there,
Zane got a little shafted on that one,
and
but
you
oh well.
in real life, you went through the process we just talked about
I
with the
did.
whole freezing of it and
I
Yeah.
did.
different options of how to use it. And yeah,
Hmm.
there you go.
So yeah,
I love
Sears Chill would
that.
have been cool. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there you go.
a lot of people end up buying them. People who have the help of a surrogate or people who have donors. We do a donor duo program. We offer 2 chillers pretty much for the price of one for moms who donate milk because it does prevent infant deaths, especially for preterm infants. And then I just think there needs to be more conversation around donor milk as being an option. Not that
Hmm.
people should feel that they have to choose breast milk over formula, but just being fully informed of all the options because pretty much no one knows about donor milk. And it's crazy. We get asked all these questions when we go into hospitals. I would love if anybody in your community, anybody listening to this podcast that can help with this, you go into the hospital and you sign all these forms, constantly are having blood tests, constantly having tests taken, blood taken, all these opportunities to be qualified as a donor because there is a process for sure. But like, I don't know if this happened for you, Heather, but like you go in and you're like signing all these forms and it's like, do you want to donate your cord blood? Would you like to preserve your stem cells? Like,
Hmm.
would you like to encapsulate your placenta? It's like all this stuff. And I feel like maybe it was, I don't know, but maybe it was like those companies got in and they were like great at lobbying the hospital and marketing it. Maybe they had a ton of money behind whatever it is they're doing or selling. But why isn't just one question on the form, one question of the millions of questions that are being asked? It doesn't even have to be a full form, but are you interested in being a milk donor or receiving donor milk?
Hmm.
At least then we would have both known it existed. Like,
Yeah,
and
I
then
would
we
have.
could have asked the question and like check the box. And then maybe you get an email and it's like, hey, Heather, you mentioned you'd be interested. This is the process to be a donor. Like for moms that are bereaved moms that unfortunately have a stillbirth,
Hmm.
their body still produces milk. And you can
Yeah.
imagine how hard that is for them. Like, and for many of them, they just want to be done with the whole thing. And I can't even imagine the pain they're in. But
Hmm.
for some of them, they want to honor their child in some way. And so they pump milk and they save babies with that milk.
Hmm.
They do. And it's just, it's not shared enough. And it makes me so mad. I'm so glad you found someone. But yeah, you and I would have loved to do that with both of our children, but
Oh,
we didn't
absolutely.
have the information. It wasn't ever
Mhm.
offered up.
I think there's some stigma around that too, because when I was doing it, and now where I live here in Flagstaff, it's, we're like crunchy granola hippie town. So like it's encouraged, right? Like if I turn somebody down, I'd probably get shunned. But I have friends, I grew up in New Jersey, like East
Yeah, same.
Coast. They were like, "What are you doing?
Gross.
You're
Somebody else's bodily fluids?
you're putting somebody else's breast milk into your baby." And I'm like, "Hell yeah."
Yeah. It's
You'll
that or
drink a cow's,
powdered.
but you won't drink a human's?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Powdered cow's milk, so much better. Chemicals.
Right.
Let's do more of that. Like,
Some
Yeah.
people were a little taken aback by it. Not many, but there's a couple where I definitely got the kind of side eye, and I'm thinking, this is actually really amazing. I'm so grateful.
yeah, your
So,
friend being so generous. And then the thing is, with donor milk that's offered through hospitals, so there's community giving, like you're talking about. Share
mhm.
the Drop is a really cool app. I love that founder. It's like basically like Tinder, but for matching milk donors with moms in need.
Share the drop.
Yeah, Share the
How
Drop.
cool
Super
is
cool.
that?
I
I was
know,
thinking there should be a matchmaking service. Well, it
right?
existed. It
It
exists, of
exists.
course.
Yep. Yeah,
I love it.
In
she's
the
a
show
great
notes.
founder. That would be a good conversation for you guys too.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had just like I think it was like the Denver Milk Bank or something that I
Yep.
was looking into at that point. But then, my friend was like, "I'll give you my breast milk," and I'm like, "I'll take
Yeah.
it." So
Yeah.
hook
So
a
there's
girl up.
there's community sharing, which is awesome. And then
Yeah, we have a
milk
lot of that
banks,
here.
milk
Yeah.
milk banks, they pasteurize it. So it's all pasteurized. It goes through a
Oh,
full process. Like they superheat it, like cool it down. You lose some of the nutrients, but still it's breast milk and it is the
Still way better
best.
than
Yeah.
formula kind of thing.
wow. So even in what?
Jeremy
So
said
that
it,
was
not me.
I'll take the heat on that.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so even in what, 10, 11 years since I was doing that, right? And I'm sure, and that was for, 6, 12 months, however long it was that we did that. A lot has happened. Is like from your perspective and all the work that you're doing in the space, are we doing a better job at supporting moms and working women? And like, how much farther do we have to go to really, really be great?
I think the I think the world is improving. I think the US is doing better. The US is still pitifully low as far as breastfeeding rates. Like
Mm,
83% of moms start out wanting to breastfeed, and by the time they get to 6 months, that is pretty much cut in half because
Mm.
women have to go back to work and they're trying to live their life and
mhm.
they don't really have meaningful options. They don't have the tools, they don't have the support, they don't have the information to be successful. So, and then the AAP comes out with a recommendation, the American Academy of Pediatrics, of breastfeeding for 2 years. And it's like, great. How do we do that? So yeah, so I would say the world's gotten better. The fact that you and I and Jeremy are having this conversation is huge. The fact
Yeah.
that Ceres Chill exists, the fact that pumps can now be covered by insurance and easily bought on Amazon at all range of prices is huge. The fact that you and I though are telling the same story about failing our kids and not knowing about donor milk, and that was a 10-year difference in
Hmm.
when our kids were born, that's bonkers. I was about to use a different word, bonkers,
You're allowed.
like that. It's tempting. It
Bonkers
started
works
with
real
an
good.
Bonkers is a
F and
really good
ended in
word.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Um,
also that.
yeah, but yeah, so I think things are improving. I
Yeah.
mean, I see it. I see the innovation in the space. The Pump Act, which was recently improved upon, signed into law. It was like Obama under the Affordable Care Act
Mm.
created a requirement that insurance cover pumps,
Oh,
which
I didn't realize
changed.
that was part of ACA. Okay.
Yes. So
Good. One
that
of the
was
other good
huge.
things
Yeah.
about
Yep.
ACA, folks.
Right. Yep. Just
I'm a,
keeps on
I'm a
giving
fan.
until it's totally destroyed.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was huge. That really changed things. But still, the fact that you and I are here having a conversation, awesome. The fact that we face the same challenges and there's just tells me there's still so much more to do because
Hmm.
for real, like
Yep. Yep.
Well, that brings me to the brass tacks question of the week right here. So, what is Ceres Chill doing to make it better? What because we've now defined the problem,
mhm.
and
But we
obviously
don't
you're
stop
here.
there.
you're here with some sort of solution to at least part of it. So what is it Ceres Chill is actually bringing to the table here?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I love that question again, is advocacy. So we're much more of a community than a product. I'm never selling anything. And the less I'm trying to sell something, the better the company does. And so I will do that all day long, every day. We have a great Facebook group, Judgment Free Breastfeeding and Pumping Support, which I'm very proud of, where we have an internationally accredited lactation consultant that answers questions, that's part of that community. And other members of the team are always there to help moms, and they help each other, which is so cool. We try to make our products as affordable as possible. It's also like safest of the safe. Like there is no lead in our bottles. Stanley has lead, for heaven's sakes. I mean, love them. They're a good company. It's not
Uh-oh.
dangerous. It's on the bottom. I know,
Yep.
right? But I mean, for me, we're using these bottles with our own kids in our own life every day. I mean, I use it as my water bottle all the time. You can also chill an entire bottle of wine in less than 20 minutes without diluting it, Jeremy. I just think you should know that. It should just be fact.
Sign me up.
I know.
So you can
Testing
like
it for
pre-mix your
science, right,
cocktails in
Heather?
there and stuff.
Oh, put that
Yeah.
in the diaper bag, or well, I don't have a diaper bag anymore, but yeah, cool. I'm down.
You're gonna get one now.
They're so pretty. And yeah, you've got to, and that was actually one of the things. Like, what did you start with? Like, what was the very first product? And I want you to talk
Yeah.
about like the literal, like the situation again, because it's got this whole contraption for pumping and then the ease of like getting it into the water bottle thing. Anyway, I'm doing a terrible job of
And
articulating.
you
No,
you
no.
have it. You actually
Jeremy has
have
it
it there
now.
with
Yep.
you.
Yeah,
Yep,
show
I
us.
do.
For
I
both
do.
myself and our YouTube watchers, people on the video. Could you like open that up and kind of show us how
Yeah.
that works too?
Okay,
In the
I for
process
sure
of this?
will. And then I will
We
say
just
a
asked you
couple.
like 3 questions.
No, no,
Sorry.
no, no, no. I'm so ready. And I wasn't even done with your first question, Jeremy. So, we also sell into WIC. So,
Oh, you do?
Oh,
so
nice.
we partner with local WIC offices, with state
I
WIC
love that.
offices. Washington State is one of the best at showing up for moms. And so WIC offices, durable medical equipment vendors. So with your pump, you can get a chiller with a DME like Aeroflow, which is a big provider of breast pumps. I made sure we got FSA HSA accreditation, so moms can use their tax-free dollars to purchase
Mhm.
either on Amazon or website or wherever they find the chiller out in the world. And then we also partner with Goodbye Gear. Goodbye Gear,
Oh, I know that
so
company.
cool. Love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Love
they're
them,
great.
Heather. So it's for Jeremy and everybody else who
Yeah, I
doesn't
haven't
know
heard.
and love Goodbye Gear. It's a
Check it out.
company that's dedicated to keeping billions of pounds and dollars of perfectly awesome baby gear out of landfills.
Oh,
So
nice.
returns can be sent directly to Goodbye Gear. They are experts. They are ninjas with bringing those products in, thoroughly inspecting them, making sure they're safe to go back out into the world. So sterilizing them or repairing them or getting rid of them. Like if they can't be redeemed,
Mhm.
they go. But strollers and breast milk chillers and I mean, name it. There's high chairs. There's all kinds of perfectly awesome baby gear, especially through Amazon, where returns are just second nature, unfortunately. So it's a brand new chiller and it goes to a landfill. And a mom could have really used it. So
Wow.
it's half the price. I love referring people to Goodbye Gear. I do it
Yeah.
all day long. So if you can't afford a full price chiller, I mean, it's super high quality. It's really versatile. I'm about to show you that. So it's $68 on our site and on Amazon. 20% off for healthcare workers, military, teachers all day long because I
Nice.
launched during COVID, and those women will always be in my heart and at front of mind for me. But Goodbye Gear, I mean, you can get a chiller for $30, for $35. And if you're a student and you're like trying to pay bills, you're a new mom that's struggling in what now may be a recession, it's such a great option. Love Goodbye Gear. We'll talk about them all day long. I'd rather somebody go to Goodbye Gear than buy it than not have it.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this, and again, as my kids have gotten older, there's less of that like trading, And for
Mm.
maybe for most men, Jeremy, you might not know this, and this was very, very popular here in Flagstaff, where cost of living is really high. There's a lot of trading and not upselling, upcycling that happens here
Yeah.
with kids gear, like across all like the Facebook groups. I'm a part of tons of moms groups. It's like, I'll trade you this, or hey, I'm selling this, or I'm giving this away. Let's do clothes swaps. Let's do all the baby. Like that's a very common thing. I don't know. Again, I live in this space where I feel like we do things a little bit differently here.
It's like
Yeah.
living on an island here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't
It
like,
really
does
is.
everybody else do this? But there's a lot of that. And so Goodbye Gear is so in line with that same kind of that just that same kind of those values, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And to that point, and as we were talking about before, so I have one here. It was it was designed to be used forever. So it's super high quality. So it's
That's a
two
really cool
chambers.
looking
Oh,
bottle.
mhm.
this one is our donor duo. So it has a mom who's pumping, and then it says milk saves lives, and then there's a mom who's feeding her baby from a bottle. So this
Oh,
one I
nice.
love. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so and
nice.
then Ceres Chill, you asked about before, Heather. So
Mhm.
Ceres is the goddess of the harvest and maternal relationships. And so I wanted something. People ask me, how I came up with the name. I wanted something. I'm going to drop the real language here. You guys can bleep me out, Jeremy, but something worthy of the amazing mom, something badass enough to like really be part of their lives and keep up with them. So I didn't want it to be like infantile, like a silly little,
Mhm.
like boopy bippy name. Like this is Ceres Chill. This is like something you're going to have forever.
Yeah. There's
And
an elegance to it, honestly, and
yeah,
it's very
It
feminine, and I love that.
I love that it can start out with breast milk and end up with pre-mixed cocktails.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
And it works for
So
everything in between.
yes, yes. So it's a for everybody that's just listening, it looks like a Yeti or a Hydro Flask.
Yeah.
It is the highest quality, so it will perform or outperform any insulated bottle you have out there. This can keep something at a cold temperature or hot temperature for anywhere from 10 to 20 hours, depending on what the ambient temperatures are like. So it can hold up to 34 ounces without being displaced. The magic in the patent is that it has two chambers. So displaced, the outer chamber will hold
Ah.
27 ounces. The inner chamber will hold 12. This connects directly, the inner chamber will connect directly to any standard breast pump. So a mom can pump her milk directly
Ah.
into this chamber or into the outer chamber. It will connect directly. And then the cup, very MacGyver style for everybody who's old like me on the call, the cup flips over and the connector that was on the that inner chamber then connects, and then this will connect directly to any breast pump. So this will
Oh,
connect to a
wow.
breast pump as well. So a mom can double pump. She can pump into here. So that's for both sides, Jeremy. For everybody out there listening, double pumping
Yeah.
is one on each side. And then this will fit a baby bottle nipple, or this will fit a baby bottle nipple, so you can feed the baby directly as well.
That's so
Wow.
cool. That's
Yeah,
brilliant. Like it's
thank
so,
you.
I mean, it's like simple, but it's not simple, and it's just brilliant.
Well, I
It
appreciate you saying that. And so many moms are trying to
Yeah.
get away from plastic. And so the steel
Yeah.
is less porous. You don't have that same risk of plastic shedding
Mhm.
into the contents. The cap
Microplastics.
fits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we want less of
exactly.
that.
Right. The cap fits. And so all the other components for our baby bottles and that, it's all silicone. The cap is BPA free plastic. It's all 304 grade stainless steel, all tested to meet consumer protection standards for infant safety. This can go in the fridge. Like I said, you can put a baby bottle nipple on it. You can take it to daycare. A lot of people don't like plastic, but daycare won't accept glass because that's a risk. So
mm.
this can go to daycare. Then you don't have to worry about that. So
Ah.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
it
it
becomes a
looks like
bottle
it'll
warmer.
last forever too. It really does. Like
Yeah.
that's real deal stuff right there.
My dream, Jeremy, always, I love how you see it. So people ask me what the goal is for the company. It's like two things. Like I'm always thinking about our individual customer, and then I'm thinking about the world. I want every parent in the world to know that Ceres Chill exists and the value, like what it is that we might be able to contribute to their life, and then that they have meaningful access. So that means that it's affordable and it's near them. And so we've started that with WIC. We've started that with some of the community projects we have, and also with a partner we have in just outside of Dubai. They're able to ship anywhere in the world for just as much as it costs to ship in the US, which is huge, huge.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's my goal for the company, for the world. Individual goals, like when I think about moms, Jeremy, this is what I'm thinking of, is what you were saying. I want a mom to have bought this for herself, to have somehow made it to whatever her goal was for breastfeeding, whether that's 1 month or 2 years, and to be sitting on a beach watching her 6-year-old play in the surf, like in, like, let's say Costa Rica. She's sitting on the beach watching her daughter play in the surf, and she is sitting there drinking a daiquiri out of her chiller thinking, I did that. Like, cheers to me.
Cheers to me.
I made that happen. I paid for this vacation. My daughter is a healthy child, and I
still have
deserve
this bottle.
moment.
I still have
Yes.
this bottle that represents the
Yep.
massive accomplishment, right? Milestone. So many things that are
Exactly.
so important to us moms.
I really like your logo too, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks.
got a good
Yeah,
look,
the
yeah.
Archer. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yep.
can carry that around anywhere, and people be like, "That's a cool water bottle."
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
it
the thing.
and it works. Like when you took it apart, it's almost just like, I mean, it's like my granddad's old thermos. The way that worked, it just has that one extra piece in it that
Yep.
screws back in a different way, and all of a sudden you're pumping breast milk and
Yep.
storing.
And
That's awesome.
warming it. So it's a bottle warmer too, which is really cool. So any
What?
standard baby bottle can be screwed into that connector. And then where you put ice, you put hot water. And then you can warm like
Oh,
5
no.
bottles over the course
Way.
of 10 hours. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that to me is like mind blown.
I just had another thought too. So for the later uses we were talking about, could
Yeah.
I like have some beer in one of those and then put the cocktail in the
Yeah.
other and like have the mix
Oh,
and
yeah.
keep them both cold?
Oh, yeah. To have your mixer in
I
one
kinda
and
need
then
one
to
of
have
those.
your liquor in the
Jeremy
other.
wants one.
Yeah, I know. A lot of moms will go, or
I'm gonna get you one.
dads go to Disney World, and they'll put the breast milk in the inner chamber, and they'll put the Powerade or the Gatorade or the ice
Yeah.
water in the outer chamber, and then they're giving the kids, the toddlers, the water, and they have the breast milk cold for the
Oh,
baby.
so smart.
And the gym, going to the gym. We have like one super cool mom. We call it like the Danielle hack. And she would put her Powerade in the outer chamber with a bunch of ice and her breast milk in the inner chamber. And she'd go to the gym and she'd be able to keep her breast milk cold when she was like pumping after or before her workout. And then she'd also be able to take swigs of her hydration whenever she needed it.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
That's brilliant.
We sponsored a sunset happy hour at the Human Milk Symposium, internationally renowned symposium put on by San Diego Scripps Human Milk Institute, and we sponsored the sunset happy hour, and they used all of our chillers as the drink shakers. So again, for science, we tested it, and it works very well.
How fun.
I love the utility.
Yeah, it definitely does. And they're pretty. They're like, I love all the colors. And also, I love the glass bottle. Like you know what it makes me think of? So,
Can we see the glass bottle?
I'm
Yes,
a child
yes.
born in the 70s.
Yeah.
We actually had glass milk bottles get delivered
Yeah.
to our house back in like late 70s, early 80s still. Like the milkman legit came to our house.
There it is.
That's what I think of
Yeah.
when I see it.
That
Yeah,
thing's
it was
cool.
designed to be like an apothecary bottle. So I wanted it to be really beautiful because every other
So
baby bottle
pretty.
in the world, you can like, I mean, I don't need to name names. Like just pick a major baby bottle, walk out on the street, cover up the baby bottle nipple, ask any Joe Schmo what it is, and they're going to be like, that's a baby bottle. Like,
Right.
because it's got the measurements. It's just
Yeah.
so institutional, so industrial. Maybe if you're lucky, it's got like a butterfly or a duck on it, right? But the whole thing is like, what do you do with them between kids? Like, where do you put them? Like, do you throw them
Yeah.
away? Do you recycle them? Are they part of landfill? Do you know anyone intimately enough that they want your used breast milk or formula bottles? Or do you put them in the basement or the attic and you're waiting for a child? Like, Heather, you dealt with all of that. I mean, I had a miscarriage between kids. So there was 4 years between them. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
What do, right? Do you throw them away? Or does it just take up all that space? Why can't baby bottles be insanely beautiful? Like that you want to keep them around. First of all, also it's square. So it's
Oh, I
really
didn't
easy
realize.
for kids to hold and it
I love
doesn't
that.
roll off a table. Mind blown, right? Like
Oh,
it only took us 200 years to come to this amazingness.
again,
And of
like
course it took a
so
mom.
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So,
and
yeah.
does that have the future utility as well? There are different tops for
Yes.
that.
Oh, heck yeah, Jeremy. Have you met me?
She's like, but
So
wait, there's
Pretty
more.
wait, there's so much more. So on one side, it's raised glass. You can't feel it, but you can see it. So on one side, lavender measures ounces, and on the other side, rosemary measures milliliters. So it's
nice.
beautiful. And kids love that raised texture glass. It's borosilicate glass. So I can drop it from over my head on concrete, even without the silicone sleeve, and it bounces. It does
No
not
way.
break. Yes,
Wow.
it is so resilient.
Oh,
It
it's
comes
amazing.
so it comes with a silicone, all silicone nipples, so not even a plastic collar. So no lead, no BPA, no plastic, just silicone and glass. And it's all thoroughly tested, but slow flow nipple to support breastfeeding and to be ready for infants. Then it has this cool sip top, so it transitions to toddlers. And then, because again, use it forever and love it and remember those times. Soap and lotion and oil and vinegar. So it goes bedside, in your bathroom, in your kitchen.
You got a
Um,
hand soap pump.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. And so then you have it because if you're going to invest in something when your kids are babies, it's nice to keep those memories and it's nice to feel like you have something to cherish, that it wasn't a bad investment and you're not contributing to landfill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. We got to stop making things to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not even a healthcare thing. That's just a general society thing.
Yeah.
Good
If we
human
could
thing.
Yeah.
make everything so that it's meant to last, like we don't have to think about landfills anymore.
Built to last.
Hmm.
That's a great
Used to be
that's a
now.
Grateful Dead song,
Used
by
to
the way.
be. I still got my granddad's tools and stuff like that.
So true
Yeah.
though, because like the longitudinalness of it.
Yeah.
You say that
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
It's good for everyone.
yeah, like I love how it can grow with you into your
Hmm.
new seasons. So
Yeah.
What end stage capitalism looks like.
Yeah.
I
I
was
don't know why no one else is using it. I think we're past the late stage capitalism. We're in the
I
end stage capitalism where things are going to start actually changing, where we only want to buy it once, dude.
I hear you.
You know,
Yes,
like that's going to become a thing. I really do think as we go. So I think you're way ahead of the curve on it. But
I know. I have to say too, on your website, there's this one little part. It says pump, chill, rule the world. And I freaking love that because
yeah.
it makes me think of it actually makes me think of the Beyonce song Girls Who Run the World because we
Yep.
do.
Yep.
Or
I
we
mean,
should anyway.
it's
Um,
happening.
I immediately saw that and I had that song in my head and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's like the song that I gotta play when I get like pumped up." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Or
so there
pumping.
you go. Pumped up. Hey.
hey, there you go. You didn't
No
even do it
pun
on purpose.
intended, but it happened.
That
I
happened
love
in
it.
real
It
time.
did. It did. I love that. Yeah, this is so cool. I'm so glad I found you.
Seriously, seriously. And that's, I think, for everybody that's listening, that's the magic of, if we're using it right, the magic of the internet and
Uh-huh.
networking and finding community and being out there. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn because I want to be a better advocate for new parents and moms. And um, I think that when we can support each other and have these conversations, it changes the world for the better. And I'm so grateful for you guys and the space that you've created. It's really neat to be part of this with you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to do every little bit counts and especially with with women and women's health and, maternal health and working moms and there's a lot of us out there. Like we need all of the support we can get so to be successful, right? Like to be good moms and not
Yeah.
have to question ourselves and be told we're not good enough or we're not doing it right or this, that, or the other thing.
Or to tell ourselves that.
Or to tell ourselves that. That's right. Because we're all awesome.
Yep.
We are
Yep.
amazing. So, well, let's end on that note that we are amazing. And Ceres Chill is a part of making moms amazing. So, um, where can we find you online? Where, if anyone's listening, anyone wants to buy as a gift, because by the way, I'm at the point in my life where we celebrate more 50th birthdays.
Yeah.
However,
I got one.
now all of my friends and my cousins' kids are having kids.
Yeah.
So we're back in like baby shower stage right now. So
Yep.
I'm like, ooh, I know who I'm gonna buy this for. So you can buy it as a gift, y'all, and then they can, or maybe I might buy it for myself and just go
Yeah.
straight to the wine
To the
cooler and
wine.
the
No,
Yeah.
all
all
of
of
those
Jeremy
the.
double
needs
chambered
one. I
thermoses,
heard
man.
him say he needs one.
I
He does.
need one.
We're
I
gonna
can carry two different kinds of booze with me
we'll
at
make this
once
I know.
happen. We'll
in
make
one
it.
thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I'm so
So
here for it. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry that
so
that's what I took away from this primarily, but
no, the
whatever
whole
works,
thing
right?
is like, how does it show up in your life? And like,
yeah,
how can you be part of the solution, not the
yeah,
problem? And Jeremy,
Yeah.
you are so part of the solution. The
Oh, well, I
questions you
yeah.
appreciate
asked
that.
were
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah.
I'll make
So,
sure to leave
okay.
that in when I'm editing.
Tell us where to
Yes.
find you, and we'll put all of it in the show notes too, like social media, what's your
Yeah.
website, all that stuff.
Okay. So, serieschill.com. So, Ceres like the goddess, CeresChill.com. And then Amazon, of course. Also, um, pretty much anywhere you can find FSA, HSA products, because everybody should keep in mind that they can use their FSA, HSA dollars. Aeroflow, a DME is going to be carrying us. But the other thing that I really want to say, Heather, is hospitals are providing these to their patients to support them, like NICU patients. The chillers can be customized. So employers like Duke is awesome. Shout out to them. They supply them, they provide them to their residents. Law firms are offering them to their staff because it's a great way to welcome an employee back from
Mm-hmm.
family leave and support them in being an amazing employee and an amazing parent so that we don't feel that awful choice and being so torn and not supported. So I think that it would be great if people bought them as gifts. It would be great if they bought them for themselves and supported their own journey. But also, I mean, this is the thing, Heather. You, me, and Jeremy are of an age where we're also in leadership and we also want to attract and retain amazing people as part of our teams. And so to do that, we have to show up for them. And I strongly feel, I'm not just drinking my own Kool-Aid, I strongly feel that buying something like a chiller and even customizing it and sharing that with your team is sending a message to them and to the company and to society that this is important and we can show up for parents and also have them be exceptional members of the team and incredible employees as well. So yeah, I had to do that pitch because I want more companies to be thinking in that direction, whether or not it's the chiller.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. We got to support our people. So,
Yeah. So
100%.
they're
yeah.
welcome to reach out to me if anybody sees an opportunity where we can be showing up,
Yeah.
whether it's participating in a program like WIC or an employee program, or if people see a way that I can be doing better as a citizen of the world or improving on the product, me and my team are so here for it.
Awesome. We're here for it too.
I
Well,
know.
thanks for coming on. This has been a great conversation. And I've learned so much about breast milk.
Mind's
Yeah,
blown.
this was a very educational episode for me as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Good
Love it.
stuff.
And there you go. Our conversation with Lisa Myers from Ceres Chill. Never had so much fun talking about breast milk before,
Bet you never thought you'd say that.
and probably never will again.
Yeah.
It was a unique moment in my life. But what were our main takeaways from that, Heather?
Well, what I love about the conversation with Lisa today is that it wasn't just about her product. In fact, it felt very much less about her product than the actual issue that new moms who are returning to the workforce feel and how they're not supported and how our system, the way that kind of the world works, doesn't make working and breastfeeding um, two things that can happen in an equal way, right? So we really put working new moms in very difficult spaces, right? To be successful at both those things. And and then some of the statistics that she shared about breastfeeding, I think it was like 83% or 84% in
Oh,
10 to
like
and
half of them are out of the game by six
like 6
months.
months. It's because we don't give them the tools, the space, I mean, just like the
That's
emotional kind of support, not even just the things so much. um and that we need to do better, and I think as Americans, right, as a country, we're doing better. I heard her say that, but we can do better. And what she's doing is she's created this Ceres Chill, this chiller, and some of the other products that help women be able to go back to work, breastfeed and feed their children confidently, and also do their job without feeling that the pressures of the access and the discreetness and then the longevity of these products, I think, is so
yeah, that's
cool.
really what stood out to me in a big way.
Yeah.
And speaking to your point at the beginning of that about it being more about solving the problem than selling the product. When we did ask her, we got to the point where we're basically like, pitch your product.
Mm-hmm.
And she told us first about the place that you can buy it half price
Yeah.
before she told us where you can buy it from her full
This is
price.
true. Yeah.
That right there tells you something about why they're doing this. And the fact that they're working with WIC and they're like working with these organizations where they're just giving these things away to people. And
Yep.
I'm sure like they might still be getting some money for them, but they're probably selling them wholesale, not
Yep.
retail. You know what I mean? And I
Goodbye gear. I just looked it up.
oh, there you go. Goodbye gear. Yeah,
Yep.
that was the
Check it
half
out.
price place. But you can tell from people in their approach like that she's not just trying to be a successful business person and sell a product. She's trying to solve a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bigger problem. Like it's there are so many tentacles to ensuring new moms have the support that they need to feed their babies.
Yeah. And the fact that breast milk gets real-time updates.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, we
It,
learned so much about breast milk.
human biology, just the more you learn about it, the more confounding honestly it is. Like, how does it do that?
It's kind of
Like
amazing.
real time, depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
Different stuff at night than in the afternoon, like real time updates. That's wild. That's
If you're
wild.
sick or if you're not sick. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
it's
if the baby's premature, it'll give you different stuff. And like at the beginning, it's giving you this. And then, a couple weeks later, it's giving you this. A couple months later, it's giving you this. And it's constantly updating for the age of the child and
hmm
the physiology of the mother and child. And it's
yeah.
wild.
The woman's body is
And
an
like just
absolute
a
miraculous
mom,
thing.
a mom smelling her baby
Oh yeah.
will give the breast milk the information it needs to do its next update.
Hmm.
Think about that for a minute.
It's crazy.
The human body, man.
Yeah, and I will say, being a mom, right? And although I didn't breastfeed, but the bond that a mother has with her child is something, it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
It really is. Until you've experienced it, you
You're
just don't know.
you're literally a part of each other.
It is pretty amazing. It is a miraculous thing what we are able
Yeah.
to do. So
It's wild.
we're amazing. And what did we said, girls who rule the world, thanks to Beyonce and that song, because I'd seen it on her website. It said like pump, chill, I don't know, go kick ass
And
or something.
and it shows you the progress we've made.
Yeah.
And not that we don't have a long way to go, but in the 80s girls just wanted to have fun and now they rule the world.
Yeah. Right.
So that's progress in my mind.
It is progress.
But anywho, if you want to keep up with the healthcare uprising as we move along here, and we will have more episodes pertaining to such things like this. So if you like this one, make sure to hit that auto download button so you know when we're coming up with more, and hit all those other happy fun buttons too while you're at it, the likes and subscribes. Maybe share us with a friend who would be interested in such things. Everybody knows someone who's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure I do. I don't know who at the moment, but I'm sure I do.
It's your friend's kids.
Yeah, there you go. And like you said, our cousins, kids, and like the next generation of the families and stuff when you get to this age. But we are on all the major listening platforms. We are on YouTube if you want to see the video. We have a Patreon also with video if you want to donate a little monetarily towards the uprising. I don't know. I forget anything else I should have said.
It's okay.
What do you got for us, Heather?
I'm coming in hot with some good info.
Oh yeah.
Healthcareuprising.com is our website. Go check it out. And mostly find us on social. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, super active on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. We post all of our published episodes out there. We share stories and posts from those who come on the show. So great place to kind of stay in touch with what they're doing and just stuff in the healthcare world. But we're also always looking for people to come on the show. If you're a co-founder, represent a company, a startup in the healthcare space, you're doing something really innovative. And maybe not even just startup. Maybe you're a little beyond startup. If you're doing innovation, come on the show. Also, for our human stories series, we love to bring on people to share their healthcare journeys and get vulnerable and honest in the hot seat with us. But
Tell us all your secrets.
all of them. Email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com to get in touch and express your interest in coming on the show. And we will be sure to reach out and get in touch with you. So that's it. That's your dose of healthcare uprising for this week, friends. So with that, keep looking for the good in the world because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
This has been a Shut Up production.
Shut up!